Imagine showing up to Disney World for a normal day at the park and ending the night sleeping inside Cinderella's castle. As crazy as that sounds, it actually happened. Between free cruises, VIP experiences, and dream vacations, Disney gave away millions of dollars worth of prizes to ordinary guests. But why? In 2006, when Disney's biggest celebration was coming to an end, and the company needed something to keep its high attendance records flowing, they came up with the simple idea of giving away millions of prizes to their guests. This is exploring Disney's Year of a Million Dreams. To understand how the Year of a Million Dreams came about, we gotta head back to 2005, to the happiest celebration on Earth.
No, you should have turned left at the pyramid.
Hey, we're gonna miss the anniversary.
Maybe we should dog paddle, eh?
Whoa! Sure you got everything? Ready!
Hold your horses! I almost fell off that time!
Say, this herd's moving kind of slow, eh?
Spare, go left, right, no, left is right.
No, I don't have any quarters.
It's our biggest celebration in 50 years, and everybody is going to be there. The only one missing is you. Log on to find out more about all the new attractions coming this year to the happiest celebration on Earth.
Just a few years earlier, Disney and the entire tourism industry were still recovering from the effects of the September 11th terrorist attacks. Travel demand had fallen, attendance was down, and theme parks across the country were feeling the impact. But in 2005, Disney had a major opportunity. Disneyland was turning 50 years old. Instead of limiting the celebration to California, Disney decided to turn Disneyland's anniversary into a worldwide event known as the happiest celebration on Earth. Every park around Walt Disney World was getting something new. Actually, I think I'll let Wayne Brady explain this one. Thanks, Wayne. I honestly don't think I could have said it better myself. With new attractions and entertainment offerings coming to Disney parks around the globe, it gave guests a reason to visit the parks. Disneyland got the addition of Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue opened in California Adventure, even select ride vehicles from 1955 across the park were painted entirely in solid gold. And of course it wouldn't be a Disney celebration without decorating the castle. Sleeping Beauty's castle got a decorative overlay featuring 5 decorative turrets representing each decade of Disney parks. Soarin' opened at Epcot, Lights Motor Action Stunt Show debuted at MGM Studios, and Expedition Everest officially opened. And yes, at the time, the Yeti was actually working, but that's a video for another day. Even over in Disneyland Paris, Space Mountain Mission 2 received a complete overhaul. The message was clear. This wasn't just Disneyland's anniversary, it was a celebration of Disney parks around the globe. The happiest celebration on Earth became one of Disney's most successful marketing campaigns in the company's history. With attendance at an all-time high and guest satisfaction through the roof, there was only one problem. The celebration was ending. And Disney wasn't about to let that momentum die. They needed a way to keep guests coming to their parks and resorts, and whatever came next had to be just as big, if not bigger and better than what they had just done.
Morning.
Morning. Morning.
Every day, we prepare to make your dreams come true in ways you've never imagined. Come live your dream during the Year of a Million Dreams going on right now at the place where dreams come true.
The Year of a Million Dreams was set to kick off on October 1st, 2006. With this being Disney's biggest promotional campaign in the company's history. Throughout the campaign, Disney continued investing in its parks. Finding Nemo the Musical debuted at Animal Kingdom, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor opened at Magic Kingdom, Toy Story Midway Mania arrived at Disney's MGM Studios and Disney's California Adventure, Finding Nemo's Submarine Voyage surfaced at Disneyland, even The Seas with Nemo and Friends would open at Epcot. Oh my god, quit with the Finding Nemo shit. But the celebration's biggest draw wasn't the new rides and attractions, it was the fact that Disney was giving away 1 million prizes or dreams to its guests.
The Dream Squad is a Disney Parks first. As part of the Disney Dreams giveaway, these special Disney cast members go out into the park every day and present dream prizes to randomly selected guests. This is, after all, a year of a million dreams.
It's the best feeling in the entire world. I've never had such an awesome job here at the Disneyland Resort ever before.
The prizes are anything from collectible mouse ears to dream fast passes to a Disney cruise to the biggest dream of them all, a trip to all 5 Disney parks around the world.
The idea was simple. Every guest that walked through the gates of Walt Disney World and Disneyland had a chance to win one of the million prizes being given out. Prizes included Dream Fast Passes, special lanyards, and a commemorative set of Mickey ears. So I'm at one of my favorite Disney thrift stores and I found a pair of ears from the year of a million dreams. You can see they're a little beat up, but I thought this was a great find for only $6. I mean, come on. They were literally giving these things away. Over 500,000 ears were given away during the year of a million dreams. Some of the biggest prizes were vacations with Disney Cruise Lines, Adventures by Disney, and even a chance to win a night in Cinderella's castle. The one-night stay in the castle was one of the most sought-after prizes of the year of a million dreams. Originally intended to be an apartment for Walt Disney and his family, the space sat unused for decades before Disney Imagineering transformed it into a luxurious 650 square foot suite during the year of a million dreams, complete with hand-carved furniture, stained glass windows, and a personal concierge. It quickly became the ultimate Disney prize. And the best part, you couldn't buy your way in. The only way to stay there was to win. This honestly might be a bigger flex than being invited into Club 33. And luckily, guests over at Disneyland weren't left out of this as well. During the year of a million dreams, Disney opened the Disneyland Dream Suite right above Pirates of the Caribbean in New Orleans Square. Originally envisioned by Walt Disney as a private family retreat, the suite became one of the promotion's most exclusive prizes. And just like the Cinderella Castle Suite in Florida, the only way to stay there was to win. And the real question is, how was it decided when somebody won? Well, it's a lot simpler than I thought it would be. A computer would tell the Dream Squad where to go at exactly what time and with what prize. So for example, the computer might say pick any guests entering Big Thunder Mountain between 11:05 and 11:10 to win a pair of ears or fast passes or maybe something crazy like a Disney cruise. I wanted to know how random this truly was, so I reached out to a friend who was lucky enough to actually win a prize or two during the year of a million dreams. So it really was just like truly random that all this happened.
That's what I'm saying, especially when you look into, like, they did a video about how the computer worked and how it was random and the computer was doing it and blah, blah, blah. I'm Kate Killebrew. I am a lifelong Disney fan, lifelong Disney parks goer, turned Disney history lover. I like to consider myself an aspiring Disney historian because Disney historians are such a high honor to me. I truly don't know if I'll ever be at that level, but until then, my goal is to learn as much as I possibly can about Disney history and the Disney parks, and it's an excuse for me to go back through the nostalgia of what I loved about my Disney childhood. So,
when you went to the Year of a Million Dreams the first time, because you were able to go twice, did you know that the celebration was going on?
Probably the first time we went, we didn't know because we were not nearly into like the beginning of Disney blogs or anything like that. We just went every Mardi Gras and whatever was going on while we were there, we were a part of. But then obviously when we went back the next year, it was like, oh wow, this is still going on. Great. You know, like we're hitting it again.
So we have to know, how did you win?
Basically what happened is, I think it was Rock and Roller Coaster first. So my sister and I, we just go to get on Rock and Roller Coaster. We're in the room right before they load you in to watch the band and then go. So we're like in that middle area. And so they basically came in, they had their little messenger bags, they had their little, I think light blue or white shirts, you know, like you knew who they were. They walked in and they said, everyone in this room wins a Dream Fast Pass. So, like, you know, make sure that you get one from the cast member before you go into the rooms.
So it wasn't like they just walked in and randomly picked you guys. It was everybody that was in the room that won this Fast Pass.
Yes. So, like, on the computer, it told them, go to Rock and Roller Coaster at 11:15, and it's in the room before the recording section. So, like, Yes. So, like, we basically had made it through those last turnstiles before everybody became, like, one group, you know? So yeah, it had to be probably, like, 50 of us, I guess, whatever could fit in that area. So, anyway, they handed them all out. You know, it's on a lanyard. It had the little tabs that you pull off for each of the Fast Pass attractions. There's, like, 6 or 8. It was, like, 3 on each side or 4 on each side. In Hollywood Studios, it's no secret. That's always been my favorite park. So I was thrilled. I was like, I get to ride everything with a Fast Pass. You just walk right up and use it. This is the dream.
And not only did you win once, but you won back to back, so you won twice. Within like 10 minutes. How in the world did that happen?
Let's take off this Tower of Terror one and just go ride Tower of Terror. We don't have to wait in line. So we literally walk right over to Tower of Terror, use our tab, walk on through, and we're in the room with the TV. And the show ends, and who do we see? But the button-up shirts and the messenger bags, and they say, everybody, yes, I thought I was being punked. I don't even know if punked was a thing back then, but they were like, everybody in this room gets a dream Fast Pass for the day. And me and Kelsey, my sister, are looking at each other, and we're like looking, and we're nervous because we're like, we just got one. They're not going to give us another one. And so they said, yes, even if you've already gotten one, everyone in this room gets a dream Fast. So I was like, dang.
According to one of Kate's old blog posts about the Year of a Million Dreams, 95,970 guests were awarded with Dream Fast Passes to Disney's MGM Studios. This means Kate had a 0.00104% chance at winning, not once, but twice. Out of all the prizes you could win, you would think that the night in Cinderella's castle or the Disneyland Dream Suite was the grand prize, but in reality, there was one other prize that was way bigger and better than that.
From collectible mouse ears, to dream fast passes, to a Disney cruise, to the biggest dream of them all, a trip to all 5 Disney parks around the world.
The Grand Marshal Private Tour was a tour around the world to every single Disney park. Only 3 of these were given out. This 15-day trip was for the winner and up to 3 guests. This was an all-expense-paid trip by Disney that included a hotel stay, tickets, and a $75 gift card per person per day for food, a VIP tour in each location, and the best part was Disney gave the winners another $8,500 to cover the income tax on the prize, making this prize worth over $36,000. And if you're adjusting for inflation for 2026, that makes today's trip worth well over $60,000.
That was just like a sign of that time frame, is that all of those major grand prizes that they gave out, they covered the tax and like all the fees for the prize winner, which I feel like when people win a car or something like that, you don't realize, or a house, you don't realize like there's actually like taxes involved and all of that. So the person that won the DVC membership, like, Disney also covered the lump sum of the taxes or whatever fees were going to be involved of that. I think it was, like tens of thousands of dollars of a membership, for free.
Some of the other significant prizes included a day at Disney's private island, Castaway Cay, which was only awarded to 1 person and up to 3 guests. A guest of honor at the largest character breakfast on Main Street, and if you really got your head in the game, you could attend the world premiere of High School Musical 3. By the time the Year of a Million Dreams came to an end on December 31st, 2008, Disney had awarded more than 1 million dreams to guests around the world. Along with it came new rides and attractions, some of which are still in the parks today. Looking back nearly 20 years later, it raises an interesting question. Could Disney ever do something like this again?
We're gonna see that is if they've got, if the bubble pops in some way, you know what I mean? If they actually get to a place where, I think they're already pricing most of the people out, but if they really get to an extreme level where they're like, wow, we really aren't seeing people come, you know what I mean? Like, then yeah, they may start working it back in. For me, it's like, I'd love to see some new version of that in the next decade or so. It doesn't need to be that, but some version of like, if you can only experience this if you're here, you know what I mean? Like that was the whole point of the 25th. That was the whole point of the 50th for Disneyland. That was the whole point of all these celebrations, was getting the people back in the parks, and getting them to remember those special times that would make them want to go again. I mean, I want to believe in my heart of hearts that things are making its way back around again to where we could maybe see something like that, but just with the way that current celebrations are being treated, I mean, look at Disneyland's 70th. The big activation that you could do, you had to pay for. You had to buy the key that you would take and turn in the different to get the pin at the end. Like, I guess my point is, like, back in the day, that would have been done in a different way. It wouldn't have been a big massive key you had to buy. It would have been like a lanyard you got and you had to go, like, it would have been something accessible to everybody in the park. And sure, some people may not do it and some may, but now, like, I feel like that's a sign of where things are right now. It's about, we have these exciting experiences, but you're going to pay for it. You know what I mean? Whereas before it was like, you already paid to be in the park. This is the place where dreams come true. Wasn't that the tagline at the time for Disney? Or Walt Disney World? Wasn't it where dreams come true?
Personally, I don't think we'll ever see something like this again. In the age of social media, everything would be documented instantly, and people would start chasing it instead of experiencing it. Even something like winning a night in Cinderella's castle, today it wouldn't stay a private memory. It would be posted, shared, and picked apart online. And instead of feeling magical and spontaneous, it would turn into something people try to figure out, instead of something that just naturally happens. Because back then, there were no tips and tricks, no alerts, no updates, no way to track any of this. You didn't know if you were going to win, it just naturally happened. And when it was over, it was over. Unless you're Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary, that was a giant letdown and lasted way too long and people fought over Starbucks cups, but that's a story for another day.
See, and I see it in the opposite way. I see it in, like, the marketing PR disaster of, like, someone saw a video on TikTok of somebody saying, oh my gosh, we were just in Tower of Terror and we all got a, Dream Fast Pass. And then they're going to go to guest relations as soon as they go on, this person's going to go on Tower of Terror, they're not going to get a Dream Fast Pass and they're going to go to guest relations and they're going to complain that they too did not get a Dream Fast Pass when they waited in line for Tower of Terror. Because I feel like as far as, like, tips and tricks, with the system they had in place at the time, there weren't any. The tip and trick was to be in the park because it was all a randomized computer. They spit out a time and a location and then, like, a specification of, like, a room or something like that. So there was no tip and trick on that front. But I think with the fact of just people do not do the follow through of, like, hey, what's Year of a Million Dreams, and, like, Google it before they go. They'd just be mad that they saw somebody win ears outside of the carousel or they won a night stay. Like, they'd be creating hell for the guest relations staff because they would just be in there complaining and, insisting on a free trip or whatever because they didn't win. So I think I don't think it would be necessarily, like, the tips and tricks, because there wouldn't be. It would be the people, like, why did they win and I didn't? It's like, it's literally a random system.
The Year of a Million Dreams ended up being a huge success for Disney parks. Being able to regain attendance and profit after the 9/11 tourism crash and bring people back in the parks was a massive win for the company. At the end of the day, I hope to see Disney's future celebrations start to come back to life and see aspects of the happiest celebration on Earth and the Year of a Million Dreams built into them, and not just a giant merchandise grab. If you've enjoyed this video, feel free to check out this one up here, or even this one down here. It's one of my favorites. My name is John, and this has been Disney's Year of a Million Dreams. I'll see you all in the next one.